I am on the line right now with the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. You have a pretty big weekend coming up with AEW Double or Nothing. You're in a Stadium Stampede match. Like, what can we expect from that? We know the match is on. We don't really know too much about it right now.
Yeah, nobody knows too much about it. It is the first ever of its kind, and I think what you could really just expect is a bunch of chaos. I mean, the Inner Circle versus the Elite with Matt Hardy. I think you're just gonna expect a lot of craziness. I got hit by a freaking golf cart 2 weeks ago, so who knows what's gonna happen now? I got to get some revenge.
Do you guys have a plan in store for the Elite and Matt Hardy? Like, do you have a game
Um,
plan ready, or is it still
I mean,
there on the slope?
we're all talking. We got the big group chat with the Inner Circle. We're coming up with different game plans. In the Elite, that's the main plan though. It's in the Elite, all Elite Wrestling. That's what this is called. AEW. Maybe by the end of this, it'll just be all Inner Circle Wrestling.
So, speaking of the golf cart injury, how are you doing? How's the neck, the bones?
Man, I've been doing a lot of DDP yoga. It's getting better. Still a little banged up. My wrist also hurts as well. I can't really bend it that much. Like even doing this, what I'm showing you right now is hurting. I don't recommend anybody out there doing that. Don't try this at home. Don't try it anywhere. I hope I never have to do that. Not have to. I hope that just never happens to me again.
So you always hear people say wrestling's not ballet, and you can't practice falling. Like, how do you really brace for getting hit by, it's a golf cart coming at you and you're running from it? Like, how do you kind of anticipate the impact?
You don't. You don't. Matt was going pretty fast on that golf cart. That wasn't even like a normal golf cart. That's like a more heavy duty one. And I think you just pray to whatever God you might believe in. You just pray and hope that you'll see the other side. And luckily, I'm still here.
Thankfully, indeed. So you guys are back to taping now. You're in Florida taping, but when you're not on site, how are you staying busy besides recouping from your golf cart injuries? Like, what do you do to kind of keep your mind at ease, stay focused, pass the time?
Oh, yeah, this whole like quarantine thing, some people are going insane, but me, I'm kind of normally just chilling by myself on the norm. So I just do what I normally do. I get some food, go to the gym, play some games, edit videos on my very awesome YouTube channel that people can go subscribe at Sammy Guevara on YouTube. Yeah, that's about it, man. It's been pretty much business as usual, despite everything else being closed.
Your vlog is an award-winning show. I just saw that you got the Silver Playlist Award for 100,000 subscribers. Uh, what kind of feelings do you have on that? Like, just being recognized for, really over the past few years, building your own brand on your own, and really now seeing it all kind of, you know, be appreciated by a wider audience.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely satisfying just because it's like I've been making videos forever, but obviously AEW is a big help in that because if you look at my subscribers from last year to this year, more than quadrupled. So yeah, that was definitely a big part of it. But it's cool just to have it, 100,000. We're aiming for the million now. It's like it's a cool little feeling, but now it's on to the next goal. And that million plaque would look really nice right next to that 100,000 plaque.
There you go. When you first signed with AEW, did you ever take into consideration really like focusing on what they do with being the elite and talking about how social media needs to grow? Like, was that like a tipping point in when you decided to come on board, thinking, we have the same ideas of how to build wrestlers in today's like social media online age?
Um, it wasn't so much like in my mind when I joined up, but it was definitely like a plus. I think what they've been doing with being the elite and everything online, it's been kind of a game changer, 100%. And yeah, I've taken stuff that they've done, and it's funny because like even before AEW was a thing, I remember gaining like 10,000 subscribers and writing like Matt or Nick Jackson on Twitter. And I'm like, I'm coming for you, motherfuckers. I'm coming. And yeah, so they already knew about my videos and stuff. But it's just been cool, just seeing it all grow this past like year.
And I'd say arguably Zack Ryder, Ethan Page, All Ego, yourself, and I'd even include Colt Cabana in there because he did do the web shows for a while. Like, you guys were really there at the beginning of it, where you were building your brand, getting on social media, putting yourself out there, seeing what works. And it's, I don't want to say a detriment to anybody doing it now, but you have like a blueprint where you can almost show somebody, especially now with quarantine, like, here's what works, here's what fans want to see, like, play to your strengths. Do you have anything to say about that? Maybe any other upcoming wrestlers that you see their work online, and maybe you can give them tips on how to improve their own brand and get to a point where you are at now?
Oh, 100%. I mean, the biggest advice is just stay consistent. Like you said, it's the blueprint of what works. But I have a lot of my old videos up from like 2015 and stuff like that. So you can see early on in the vlogs, the stuff I tried out didn't really catch on, so I just kind of gave up on certain things. And it's like that's pretty much what I've been doing, is just like is trying new things. So that's also another thing I would say, is just try different things, see what sticks, see what doesn't. I've been making videos for even longer than I've been doing vlogs. I've been making all sorts of different kind of videos, just seeing what would stick and what wouldn't. And yeah, no one will ever see those though. I privated those because they're really awful, but you can still see the early vlogs, which are also not very good production wise. But yeah, just stay consistent, try different things. That's what made me start doing the vlogs. Is I was a fan of like Casey Neistat and some other big vloggers on YouTube, and I'm like, no one else is taking this vlog style of content to wrestling on like a weekly basis. And so I'm like, all right, let me try it out. And I've actually been doing my show longer than Being Elite's done theirs. So it's crazy. But the only thing is I'm wrestling in the middle of nowhere in Texas for some not very popular promotions, and they're wrestling for Ring of Honor. And so theirs blew up a lot more than old Sammy wrestling in in some barn in Texas.
So I want to get back to the golf cart, because there's no other way around it. Like, that's probably the most talked about thing in the month of May so far. There's so many different accolades that you can point to as a professional athlete and say you made it, whether it's winning a title, your own t-shirt, your action figure. But does being the subject of a meme kind of feel that way too in this day and age, especially with how much and how fast things can turn over? Like, it's really still a couple weeks later, like, it's just as popular as the night it happened.
Yeah, that whole the memes were great. It's like COVID-19, and then it's like me trying to have a good time. Like there were so many fun memes that I saw. But as far as like feeling like I made it or anything like that, I never felt like that. I still don't. I think it was a really cool moment, and even though it hurt me, um, it was cool just to see how many people attracted to it. But I've had a couple of moments this year. Me getting the super kick from Matt Jackson, nearly breaking my leg. Me singing the Judas song, Chris Jericho's theme. So there's been a couple cool moments this year that kind of like blew up a little bit. But yeah, that golf cart one really was up there.
This week, before you get to Double or Nothing, you have two pretty big matches with Matt Hardy on Dynamite. But before that, tomorrow night on AEW Dark, you're facing Alan Angels. Now, his name kind of blew up online because and I don't know how large of a group this was, but there was talk about it doesn't do much for Kenny Omega for, basically an enhancement match to go so long, but it does a lot for Allin moving forward because now he's a featured person on a national TV show. So do you kind of feel like it benefits you going into this match now because you might not only have more people paying attention to you, but you can kind of see what the hype was for Allen Angels and kind of show people, it's okay to have like not an enhancement match, but it's okay to, have a back and forth match like that where both guys can come out looking good.
Yeah, I think what Kenny did there, despite him being part of the elite and all that nonsense, I think it was very like selfless of him. He could have easily just had a very quick match, but he didn't want to do that. And now this Allen Angels guy, he can have longer matches now. He wrestled Phoenix last week, and it was a really good match. And so now it's like, yeah, why can't I have a long match with him neither? Or in general, all these so-called enhancement matches. Um, I think you don't need every single enhancement match to be just a squash or something like that. I think when it's more competitive, it's funner to watch personally because like whenever someone's just getting their ass beat the whole time, you've never seen them on TV. It's like, all right, can we just skip to the end already where you beat this guy? But then all of a sudden, when this guy's actually starting to beat up Kenny Omega or beat up Phoenix, he's not going to beat me up because I'm a Spanish god. But in general, it's like, is this random guy gonna beat Kenny or Phoenix? Not me because I'm great. But yeah, I think it's more enjoyable to watch.
And I will say, personally, I enjoy it to the extent that, for the most part, it feels like squash matches. They're brought in when you want to have like a huge, and I'll use him as an example, like a Wardlow or a Brian Cage, or they even did it with Ryback for a while with two opponents at once. Like, I feel like doing it this way breaks it up where you're not just, okay, he's going to squash these guys and that's it. It's more of an athletic contest, and even if it's like 3 or 4 minutes, it gives both guys a shot at showing not only why they're on the show, but maybe draws interest for the future. Like he's had 3 matches that he's starting to get some traction with the fans now.
Yeah, and it's like not every enhancer match is gonna be long because, like you said, with like a Warlow or Brian Cage or any guy like that, it's like, okay, we're trying to do something else here. It's like there's a different story to be told. We're trying to show this monster or whatever. It's there's a time and place for it. Not every single match needs to be though this quick 30-second match or whatever. So like you're saying, a good 4 or 5 minutes or even longer, it's like, okay, whoa, what am I watching here? It's something different.
So as I mentioned, Wednesday you have Broken Matt Hardy on Dynamite. Besides Revenge, what else do you have in store for him? He doesn't have Vanguard 1 to back him up. You have the Inner Circle. What can fans expect from this match? It's got build.
That's true. I mean, Matt Hardy tried to end my career, right? I heard him on interviews talking about he wants to come help the young talent. Well, he tried to take out one of the hottest young talents here, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I plan on just showing him out. He's Matt Hardy. He's a legend in this game for sure. But Sammy Guevara, I'm the living legend, and I feel like I'm gonna give him the best match he's ever had. My back's ready. I've been doing a lot of back workouts, so I'll carry this fool if I have to one of the greatest matches of his career because I'm that damn good. I'm part of the Inner Circle for a reason. I'm in Le Sex Gods for a reason, which you can go pick up that cool T-shirt, AEWshop.com or shopaew.com. We'll see. We'll see what happens this Wednesday. I just know I'm ready. He may have hit me with a golf cart, dropped me on my head, but I'm ready for him.
Another guy that tried to take you out, Darby Allin, and one of my colleagues, Dominic D'Angelo, recently spoke with him, and he asked if Darby saw the Brett versus Sean vibes from your budding feud. And he agreed, said there was definitely shades of that. Do you kind of see that too? Do you kind of see, Sammy versus Darby growing over the next few months, the next couple years, and having that sort of, classic rivalry feel?
Oh, 100%. But I think it's even better than a Sean or Brett or any of those comparisons because we're a Sammy and Darby. We're a Guevara and Allin. And I think, yeah, in the next couple of years, we're definitely going to be taking over this entire industry. And then in the next generation, they'll be talking about like, oh, this is like a Sammy and Darby type feud right here. I think we're going to be game changers. I know 100% I'm going to. And Darby's a crazy, crazy man. So I know he's definitely going to be over there in the future with me.
I know you always have to pay respects to who came before you, but does it sometimes get tiring of hearing that you're the next so and so and you really want to focus on being the first, like Sammy Guevara, and without being disrespectful to those that came before you?
I don't even find it as this or annoying or anything like that. I think it's humbling at times. I've been compared to a young Eddie Guerrero, and other legends like that. It's big shoes to fill, but I'm not trying to fill no one else's shoes but my own. I think it's awesome. I'm compared to these big names in the wrestling industry. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make myself proud. So I feel like I'm on the way to do what I've always said I was going to do, and soon the entire world will see what I have been seeing up here all along.
I think people are starting to see that. You had the first Dynamite match against Cody. You had the first singles match in AEW history at Double or Nothing against Kip Sabian. What kind of pride do you take in being called on as that guy to have not only two firsts, but you were handpicked for the Inner Circle by Chris Jericho. You're under the learning tree. Like, what are your thoughts on being looked at by your peers as a guy that can be put in that position, and not only be put in that position but excel?
Yeah, it's really amazing because I've been working for this for so long, and now I'm getting these opportunities. It's a lot of pressure, to make no mistake about it. First AEW match, first Dynamite match, but I love it. Because I love when it's like all or nothing. I get put in these positions, and it's like I'm either gonna do good or I'm not. And if you don't do good, you're gonna lose whatever kind of momentum you are. I like when my back's against the wall. A lot of people counted out the Kip and myself match, and I feel like we showed out. And then Cody versus myself, people were like, "Oh, Cody's just gonna walk through this match," blah blah blah. And I feel like I really stood out in that one as well. And now we're going to be in the first ever Stadium Stampede match. And that whole match in general, if we look back to last year at Double or Nothing, I was in the buy-in. And then fast forward 1 year later, I'm going to be in a match with the guys who main evented last year. And it just goes to show that hard work, man. You just keep putting in the work. Eventually, everything's going to pay off.
And this one potentially could be the main event. So you went from the buy-in to the main event.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Fingers crossed.
Are you going to bring out the toy tank like we saw? You had a little. You don't have a golf cart, but I know you have a tank. We saw you on Royal Rumble weekend driving around Houston with that.
I have no memory of that. I have no memory of this happening. Toy tank. Who knows? Who knows?
What I mean, was that just, hey, I'm driving around Houston and just having some fun, or I don't think you really ever said anything about it.
Yeah, just was driving around in the toy tank as I normally do on the huge. And apparently there was some event going on that weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so weird. I didn't know till afterward.
So I'll get you out on this. I've been doing a feature called The Watch List. We've been asking people we interview about, being at home. People were worried about not having new content to watch. Obviously, that's not the case, but I wanted to ask you if there's a match from your own career, whether it's from AEW or, before you signed, or if there's a match from another wrestler where you've watched it recently and have a new appreciation for it, or maybe just, fans are finally seeing one for the very first time. Like, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I have one. It's on my own YouTube channel that you guys can go watch for free. It's myself versus Cody Rhodes for the first time in 2016. We wrestled each other in Corpus Christi, and a little funny story. Cody heard about me at the time, but he didn't really know much about me. And I wear like pandas on my gear. It's pink. I probably look like a super baby face just by my look. And so he thought I was a baby face. And in the very beginning of the match, he goes to shake my hand, and I give him the middle finger. I give him the bird. And his face when he realizes, like, oh, he's a bad guy. Like, it's priceless. And the camera zooms in perfectly on his face right at that moment. So if you guys want to go check that out, it's on my YouTube channel, Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, you don't react kindly to the Rhodes brothers. I remember at StarCast, you had some choice words for Dustin too.
Yeah, Dustin beat me in our last encounter, but I need the trifecta. I need round 3. I beat him in our first one-on-one. He beat me in the second. So I'll just go and spoil it for you. When we wrestle again, I'm gonna beat Dustin's ass. That's what's gonna happen.
All right, before
My
that
back's
happens,
ready to carry another old man to a great match.
fair enough. Before that happens, 3 big matches this week for you. Sammy Guevara is on AEW Dark, AEW Dynamite, AEW Double or Nothing. Thanks very much for your time, man. Have a good day.
That's right. No problem at all. The pleasure was always yours, as well as that's right. I'm on Dark, Dynamite, and Double or Nothing. All the Sammy, all you need. And guess what? A new vlog this Tuesday on my channel. There's so much Sammy coming at you because I'm that talented, baby. I could do it all. Everything. Just wait. We had Chris on commentary one week. Just wait till I'm on commentary.